Previously on Balls.
300,000 rand for a bottle of whiskey. Would you ever find yourself ever spending that much on a bottle of whiskey, Nick Price?
Hey, the only spirit I drink is rum, so I don't think they make rum that expensive.
No, I think all rum's around 79 rand 99. Doesn't matter what brand.
Actually, cheaper in the Caribbean. If you come to the Caribbean, they're cheaper.
Oh, the good old dark and stormies.
Yeah. It's a leftover from Cane and Coke. They don't make Cane anymore.
It probably started with a South African over there who's like took Cane and Coke and it became dark and stormy. Nick, welcome to the show. Nice to chat to you. We really appreciate you giving us a call this afternoon so we can have a conversation. Whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm back home in Florida. Just taking it easy this week. So, it was a pretty stressful week up in Ohio, especially with the rain and everything. So just relaxing this week.
Right. Well, first of all, our usual PGA clap for...
well done, Nick.
Sadly, not a win for the internationals, but geez, what a hell of a fist you guys made of it in those last sort of day and a half.
Yeah, we got up early. The last round of foursomes, which we finished off on Sunday morning. But on Saturday we came out the gates, with guns a-blazing. I mean, the guys just took off, and we were up in all 5 matches for a brief time there. But just the Americans, honestly, they played some phenomenal golf, and obviously, inspired at being at home, and also after having lost the Ryder Cup last year, I think they had a lot to prove, and so they just came back at us, and eventually, they had a 14, 8 or 6-point lead going into the singles on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, look, just from a tournament point of view, it does need the internationals to actually come and beat them because from an American point of view, as I say, they kind of see the Ryder Cup as the pinnacle, and all the top guys play in the President's Cup, but, with the dominance that they've had, you need the internationals to come back and pretty much give them a good wake-up call, and that's going to elevate this competition up to a whole new level.
Well, they need to have a points change. In the President's Cup, we have 6 extra points we play for. We play 22 points before the singles. So, we have 6 matches on Thursday, 6 on Friday, and then 5 in the morning on Saturday, and 5 in the morning on Saturday afternoon, 5 in the afternoon on Saturday. And that extra 6 points really plays to the strength of the Americans. Now, I don't know why, it was ever structured that way. I remember playing in the first 2 or 3 President's Cups and wondering, why they changed it. But anyway, Tim Fincham or whoever it was decided that this would be a better way of having a team competition. But to be honest, it's like trying to reinvent the wheel. The Ryder Cup has been so successful and so competitive over the years. And of course, we always look forward to watching on Sunday because it's going to come down to one of the last 2 or 3 groups, and one guy's got to make a putt or chip in or hold a bunker shot or something, and it's always the whole week comes down to one shot on Sunday, which it just hasn't happened at the President's Cup. It's the one time, which was in South Africa, at Fancourt, when we had the tie, was just that was just an incredible I don't know what you call it, anomaly, because all the other ones since then, even the one we won in Australia, was won by like 7 points or 8 points. So, to be honest, it needs a complete point structure, an overhaul, and I think it would be much better if they went and followed the lines of the Ryder Cup.
The Ryder Cup. Look, I think at 17 all, when it became down to the darkness falling, and when Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player are having a chat and decide that's the way it is, I don't think anyone is brave enough to actually stand up and say, no, we've got to make it a win for somebody, and that's probably why it was accepted, but it'll never happen again.
Yeah, I don't think, especially the odds of 2 teams, playing that many holes and having 34 points on the table and coming up with a tie is, it's just so difficult to imagine. But anyway, I think all in all fairness to Ernie and to Tiger that day, the end result was probably the best thing because I don't think anybody wanted to come back Monday morning.
Yeah. Is it going to be a difficult thing to overcome where, these Americans are basically seeing each other every week on the PGA Tour, whereas I think, as you said it, we've got this hodgepodge group of guys who are playing all over the world. They sort of see each other on the Monday of the week of the event. and get together. Is it going to be an issue to try and get over that, or when we look at a place like Korea, do you start looking at maybe picking more players from the Asian tour because they might be more familiar with those surroundings?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think camaraderie and sport and team spirit was really a problem this last week. The guys bonded so quickly. By the time we started on Thursday, everyone was raring to go. They were all champing at the bit. And the pairings that we did, I thought, Mark McNulty and Tony Johnson and Shigeki Maruyama and myself, I think, to be honest, and blow our own trumpets here a little bit, we did a great job of pairing the guys up. Graham DeLate and Jason Day were such a formidable team. So were Hideki Matsuyama, the Japanese guy, and Adam Scott. And then, of course, Louis and Charles. I mean, they played golf together for so long.
Yeah.
They played great. And unfortunately, they got beaten by some phenomenal golf. But I don't think that's an issue, Darren. Honestly, I think the big thing is let's try and make it, a little more sort of competitive out of the point structure. I think if you look at the European Ryder Cup team over the years, on paper they haven't been as strong as the international team for the President's Cup. And yet they continue to compete against the Americans. And the only difference being between the two formats is the extra 6 points that we play for. So I don't think it's fair. Like, my argument has always been with some of the guys that I've asked on the European tour, say, well, why are you guys so competitive against the Americans in the Ryder Cup? And they say, we're playing for Europe and we've got a lot more going for us, and, we're more competitive and we're more sort of motivated. And I say to them, listen, I don't believe for one minute that a Spaniard and a Swede playing together are more motivated to beat America than than a South African and an Australian. So, we're all competitors. So we really need to get this thing where it's going to be as exciting as the Ryder Cup.
Yeah. When you make your pairings, what is the basis? I mean, what is your key basis? The most important thing, because obviously we noticed your Louis and Charles. Obviously, because they played a lot together, I think Richard and Brandon also would have known each other very well. So, is it about knowing each other's game and trying to keep those pairings together with guys that would know each other well?
Yeah, those are the easy pairings, to be honest. The difficult one was Hideki Matsuyama, the Japanese guy, speaks very little English. And, he's 21 years old, and I just didn't want him to feel intimidated by playing with someone. And, Adam is just a wonderful guy, and so would Ernie, been a great guy sort of to be a mentor for him for the week. And Adam jumped at the chance to play with him. I originally felt that Adam and Jason Day would make a great pairing, but I think he and Hideki played so well together. Louis and Charles was an obvious one. Brendan and Brendan de Jong and Ernie was also another one that I felt was pretty obvious. They both have very similar games, and they complemented each other. So that was good. Graham DeLay and Jason Day, I mean, these are two guys who they had fire in their bellies the whole week. So it was great to put them together. They got off to wonderful start every day, and I think what we're trying to hope in is that next year or the next time that we have the President's Cup, we'll have a lot of these guys who played this past time in that team. So it won't be quite a novelty or sort of a new experience for those guys.
Yeah, and you'd like a few more maybe Australians to sort of hit form again, maybe some more of the South Africans that have got the experience as well in this event to maybe get back into form as well. So you've got more of you've got more options. I thought your Brendan de Jong pick was inspired. His attitude, he's like got that typical Zimbabwe fighter kind of attitude. I mean, how long have you known? How long have you been following this guy?
Probably about 6 or 7 years. Since he finished college, he got his tour card, and I didn't really get to know him too well until about 5 years ago, and he came and stayed. I invited him to come stay with us. I live near Palm Beach where they have the Honda tournament, and he's been to stay with me ever since. And he's just listen. When you get together, two Zimbos get together.
Well, four of you, yeah, Tony and McNulty there as well. So that must have been good.
Yeah, it was good. I don't think both Tony and Mark, didn't know Brendan that well, but obviously, we got to spend a lot of time together. And Brendan is on a sort of a plateau at his career now, where he needs to take the next step. And I said to he and Graham Delatte, this is a springboard. You guys have proven yourself against the best players in the world, because they both played outstandingly well. I said, use this as a springboard to your next step in your career. And for Brendan, that's going to be for both of them actually, it's going to be a win on the PGA Tour. And of course, now they get into all the major championships next year because of the way they played this year, which is a huge stepping stone for them.
That's it, Johnny.
Nick, would you like to serve in this role again? I know the next one's coming up in South Korea in 2 years from now.
Are you captain again?
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I mean, they haven't asked me, but I'd love to do it again. But I think, before that happens, I'd like to see a point structure, points change, and have it a little bit more where I think it could be more competitive, for both teams.
Okay. Well, we certainly hope that they will stick with it and get some kind of continuity going there, because you've got some youngsters there that should be back next time round, and I think I think it's a matter of time before we'll topple these Americans in the President's Cup. Then they'll start taking it a little more I think one of them commented, no, we just go out there for a bit of fun and promote the game of golf around the world, which is what it does, but there's nothing like the Americans wanting to win something back. So we look forward to that sometime soon. I just want to ask you one more thing. And my dad used to have KFCs down in the Florida area, Claremont and Bushnell and Lake Leesburg and places like that. And he says he saw your RV park there full of golf clubs one day while you pulled in to get some KFC. Is it? Did this really happen? Do you travel around Florida in an RV with all your golf clubs in there as opposed to flying?
No. The early years when I first came on tour, I had one of those custom vans, which is just it's just like a big combi basically.
Yeah.
And I had one of those that I drove around in. But no, I didn't have a big van like some of the guys have today. But that was more because when you hit the road, you just had so much stuff, clothes and whatever. And a lot of times my caddy used to drive the van and with all my luggage in it.
Okay.
So it was easy, but
it wasn't Nick Price, Dad, going into that KFC. It was maybe the caddy. And
might have been someone.
Okay, awesome. Nick, we really appreciate your time this afternoon. Once again, congratulations on, as I say, making out of a typical Zimbo fist of things. And we were very proud of the way the guys came back. I think it was epitomized by Phil Mickelson when someone said to him on 13, your game might count. He just said, what? Yeah. So I think that kind of gave him a little bit of a start and a surprise. So well done, and we really look forward to the next event. All the best, and thank you for your time this afternoon.
Oh, thanks, Darren. It's been my pleasure.
Thanks, Nick.
All the best, man. Cheers.
Yes.
There we go. That's Nick Price joining us from Florida, where he resides. President's Cup captain, I reckon. Yeah, I mean, obviously he said a lot about the point structure, and I think if they can get it sorted out, then he probably will put his hand up again. Look, and basically if he wants to do it, I think he will, because he is still, I think, rated as one of the, if not the most popular golfer in America anyway, on the PGA Tour. They often used to vote him as the most popular, if not one of the most popular around the world. Yes. So I'm sure the international team would love to have him back again. And I'm sure next time we'll probably topple them, put one over them. I look forward to that.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate, and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za